Welcome to The Worthy Woman, a podcast for the intuitive, ambitious woman who's ready to regulate her nervous system, reconnect with her body, and rise to the next level of success, health, and purpose. I'm your host, Jo, manual osteopath, holistic coach, and nervous system guide, here to walk with you as you heal from the inside out and create a life and a business that actually feels good. On this podcast, we explore the connection between your body, emotions, subconscious patterns, and your ability to lead, create, and live from your worth. Let's get into today's episode. Hey friend, before we dive in, I just want to let you know that my program, Elevated and Embodied, is officially open. We have got an epic Black Friday sale happening, and if you've been feeling stuck in your business, overwhelmed, or like something's been holding you back, this program is going to give you the tools, the support, and the guidance to release blocks, regulate your nervous system, and finally feel aligned and confident. Spots are limited because I want to keep it super supportive, so DM me on Instagram to grab your spot and get the sale details. Hello, welcome back to the Worthy Woman podcast. Today, I want to talk about something that a lot of us experience in our businesses, but people aren't really talking about it. So I know I've been in this space many of times, but have you ever felt like you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing when it comes to growing your business, to knowing what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like you've taken the courses, you've followed the advice of the gurus of the strategy, you've planned out your content, you've maybe even hired people, but you still feel like your business and your direction and where things are kind of going feels stuck, right? Like you're not seeing progress or the progress that you want to be seeing, even though you're working your butt off, right? It's like there's this like invisible wall that's in front of you that is stopping you from fully stepping into your potential, right? Or fully stepping into that goal, that vision, that dream that you have for your business. And I see this all the time in women I work with, people in my life, my own self at times, right? And if that is something that sounds familiar for you, that you are definitely in the right place. And this is definitely going to be an episode for you. So today what we're going to do is we're going to dig into like why this happens and what you can start doing to move past those walls. So even if you've been spinning your wheels and like not really feeling like you're making progress for the last few months, maybe years, I promise you there is a way forward. And so we're going to dive into that today. So this is a very frustrating space to be in. So I just want to acknowledge that because I feel like it doesn't get acknowledged, and it's kind of one of those things like you talk about it with, the people in your life, your family, your friends, whoever, but like there's not always someone in business that you can express this type of stuff to that you feel like they get it, you know what I mean? And, when you are showing up and you are doing all the right things and things still feel off, that is probably one of the most frustrating spaces I know I've been in when it comes to business, right? You might start the day, you feel really motivated, you feel really good, and then by the mid-afternoon, you're absolutely exhausted. Or you make a decision and then you're instantly second guessing it, or you are hitting a block right before you're supposed to be making this big step, even though you know it's the right move to be making, right? And then you start to question, right? You start to question like, am I just not cut out for this? Like, why do I not see myself moving forward, but everybody else seems to be? Like, why am I stuck? Even though I'm doing all the things that everybody else is doing, right? And I want you to hear me out on this. It is not because you're not skilled. It's not because you're not qualified in what you do. It's not because you have the wrong strategy. It's not because of your worth, right? You are more than capable to have the success that you want to have in your business. Absolutely more than capable. These invisible walls that you're hitting, they are signals from your body, your nervous system, and your mind trying to tell you something. Right? Whether it's an old story or something that needs to be looked at in order for you to get to the other side. So why does this happen? Like, why do we hit these walls even when we're doing the right things? Right? These walls often show up because of how our nervous system is storing stress, tension, and past experiences. Those are kind of the highlight of things, right? Think of your body like a radar system. So your nervous system is always scanning. It's always scanning for danger and always trying to protect you. That's literally the nervous system's job, right? That's all it's doing, is trying to protect you. Even if your mind, your logical mind, knows that This is a safe space. This is a safe business. This is a safe idea. I'm capable, right? We can tell ourselves all of these things, but our nervous system can still create resistance and overwhelm and hesitation because there might be something subconscious going on, or our body is on a different page than our mind, right? Because we can feel a certain type of way and it almost sometimes doesn't make logical sense, right? It's like if you ever have been in a relationship and you're afraid to say, I love you. Logically, that doesn't make sense. You're just trying to express how you feel about somebody. But in your body, there might be a totally different feeling that's going on that's actually the thing that's preventing you from saying it, right? It's the same sort of thing in our business. So when our nervous system is out of balance, our energy gets thrown out of whack, our decision making starts to feel really heavy, our focus is like basically non-existent or very all over the place. And our motivation is absolutely out the window and down the road, right? So even the smallest little thing can feel like monumental. It can feel like this big, big thing, right? So something, if you are listening to this podcast and you're sitting down, maybe in your house or whatever, just make sure you're not driving as you're doing this, but you can do this later on if you're driving. I want you to try kind of this quick thing right now. So pause and just take a nice deep breath in for me. And then take a nice breath out. And if you need a little bit more time, you can take a couple breaths before you kind of sink into your body here. And I want you to notice if you feel any tension in your body. And then more specifically, what you can do is when you think about your business moving forward, or that financial goal that you have in your business, or that sale goal or content or whatever the thing is that, you know, has been challenging for you, think about that and ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? It could be shoulders, your jaw, your chest. I sometimes get my stuff like in my gut. Like it just feels like it's like right in my abdomen. And these tension patterns are actually your body's way of saying, hey, something needs to be looked at. I don't quite feel safe, right? Or there's a block, or there's like an energetic block or something going on here, right? And until that's acknowledged, until that's released, those invisible walls will keep showing up. No matter how hard you push, no matter how much effort you're taking, no matter how much action you're taking and doing, you know, checkbox, all the right things, right? That won't matter until that block or until that piece is looked at. And we do that through nervous system work, and we do that through energetic healing, right? I actually have a Reiki practice that I follow for this. It's a Reiki, Holy Fire Reiki experience, and it'll actually look at where the block is in your body. And then what's really cool is by the end, when you go back to it, you realize that it's either reduced greatly in size or it's not even there at all. I did this actually the other day. So all of this is why I created my program and grew my business and have been growing my business. And it's exactly what I went through when I was growing my business, right? Everyone would keep saying, like in my mentors, and you read books and you listen to podcasts, and they're like, just embody who you want to be. And while that sounds really great and really beautiful and weirdly simple, no one actually showed me how to do that. And I was a person who grew up in the physical world, and I obviously believe in all this. Like I grew up in the health world. You know, you get told to journal, you get told to meditate or visualize, you know, your higher self. But anytime I tried to do that, I felt really stuck and really blocked. And I would question whether it was really actually working, because no one really walked me through in a way that actually supported my process or even met me with where I was at. Like a lot of times it felt very generic. It was like, oh, just like think of this. And it's like, but I wasn't getting the physical change in my body. It was all like mental and logical. And so it felt like there was this disconnect, and I didn't truly understand how something like journaling could make such a big influence on my business. It didn't make any sense. And to be honest, like journaling's not really the thing that I gravitate to the most, honestly. And so it felt very just like people gloss over these topics, and I'm like, okay, there's clearly something going on within me because I am taking action, I'm doing things, and I'm feeling stuck, and I for some reason can't take action in the way that I'm supposed to. So I'm like, what is my problem? What is going on here? And so I had to figure that out on my own. I had to walk myself through, and I mean, luckily I was a person that has education around the body with my schooling, with my education and my manual therapy practice. Like I see this all the time. And I understand the anatomy, right? But I had to walk myself through nervous system work, energetic recalibration, right? Like realigning my energy system, and applying it in a practical way that it could actually be integrated. And so I actually learned what it really meant to become the next level version of yourself, even before you see those results, right? And that journey of figuring out the how behind embodiment that I just felt was so unclear and very glossed over in the business coaching world is what inspired me to create my program, which is Elevated and Embodied. So Elevated and Embodied is for the woman who is done all the mindset work, still feels stuck. It's for the business owner who knows that she's meant for more, but keeps hitting these invisible walls that logic can't really fix or hasn't been fixing, right? Inside the program, I actually guide you through releasing what is stuck in your body so that you can learn how to regulate your nervous system and align your energy so you can actually feel and finally step into that version of you that your business has been waiting for, right? Because our body and our energy is what dictates the results and the things that we're attracting, the clients that we're attracting, right? And so you'll get tools, you'll get practices, you'll get some education. More importantly, you get support. And that is something that I never had. And my process would have went so much freaking faster if I had someone who was kind of in my corner, right? And could walk it through me and give me like a personalized process of how I was actually meant to do it, right? So this isn't just like a mental thing. This is where you show up, you're going to do the work, you're going to deal with the mental, physical, energetic, spiritual, emotional side of things, right? And then we do it together in a small, supportive group environment so you never feel alone in that process. So this is actually, I keep it to like 10 people in a cohort because I want this, as much as it's a group experience, I want it to feel like one-on-one, because that one-to-one support, that personalized individual, like, hey, this is what's going on in your energy. And it's very different than, Susie over here. We can all work together and we can still navigate things the same way, but her approach and your approach might be very different. And that's important to look at because not everybody can just sit down and journal and change their whole freaking life. Like that's not always the way it works. And we have different challenges and different obstacles coming up in our businesses. And in order to move through those and move past those obstacles so that we can expand and we can grow in our business, it's really important that we have a practical, personalized approach. So if you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like no matter how hard you try, what you're doing, you just can't get past these walls, or you really feel like you're struggling to get to your next level, I would love to support you inside Elevated and Embodied. We officially actually launch today as I'm releasing this episode, so Wednesday, and I have a epic Black Friday offer, sale, whatever you want to call it, that's happening right now. So it's actually the perfect time to jump in if this is something that you are interested in. So spots are going to be limited, like I said, so I keep the space very intimate, very supportive. You can DM me on Instagram to grab your spot, learn more. I'll send you all the details, including the Black Friday offer. Even if you're just curious, reach out because I will help you figure out if this is actually a program that's right for you or not. As much as I want this to be a good space for my own sense of self, for, the person who's working with people, but I also want it to be the right space for you because in order for it to work for both of us, we both have to be on the same page, right? So even if you're just curious, reach out, ask questions. There'll be no pressure to join. I'm not going to be up your butt, trying to get you to buy something. That's not my intention. I genuinely want this to feel like it's the right decision for you. And yeah, I know that that's always a hesitation because people get really worried they're going to be sold to, right, in the DMs. So as long as you're on board, then I will offer it. But if not, that's okay too. So I just want you to remember that like being stuck in this space is not your fault, just like it wasn't my fault. I just had to learn how my nervous system and my energy and my body was trying to communicate with me. And so do you, right? And so when you learn to listen and support yourself from the inside out, those invisible walls start to disappear. They start to crumble and they no longer start to, like, they don't hold you back anymore, right? So you don't have to push harder. You just have to learn how to align your energy and your body and your business all together, right? Your body is your business partner. And then when you start to do that, that is where everything is going to start to shift for you. So I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited to get started. We start on November 25th. And yeah, I'm just super pumped. So I hope you guys are too. If you guys have any questions or things like that you need to know about, even if it's not related to the program, like just in general, feel free to shoot me a message. Yeah, and we'll be back next week with another episode. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope this episode was helpful for you and supportive for you. And I will see you guys next week for the next episode.